I am Megan Hughes. I am the Kennedy Parks Education Center Coordinator for Portland Housing Authority under Goodwill AmeriCorps. Coming in as a coordinator, I realized that there were a lot of programs around the area that sometimes our kids don't necessarily tap into. We also have parents who are very apprehensive of letting their kids go too far, which is why they participate in the study center. It's kind of hard to get programming done through all the different aspects of the community going on, and so I introduced myself to Blainer, who's the director for Mayo Street, and she was very excited to work with us. We decided on this, took the idea to her. She was completely supportive of it, gave us whatever we needed, and really pulled this all off. But we're going to go up to Mayo Street Arts to participate in the Cheeta program's Poetry Slam. Cheeta is a youth-driven and youth-led group, and working with the coordinators of the center and the Make It Happen AmeriCorps program at Lyman Moore Middle, we have put together a night of students reading their original poems and songs and doing dances to kind of express their creativity and say the things they feel they need to be said.
I want to say thanks. What you see in me, that's who I am. I am African. As my mother says every day, wherever you are, wherever you go, always remember where you came from. Kila mali unaenda, kumbuka nyumbani. You could make fun of my skin color, my hair, my language, but that won't change anything. I'll stand anywhere as an African. Today, I stand here as an African. Thank you.
She pulled an audience from people who normally go there for art and other artistic endeavors, and we pulled from the community, and it was this beautiful meshing of the community they're a part of but don't really get to have access to, and our community accessing the outside. I think the benefits are that a lot of these children, just as a child, especially a middle school child, in a public housing neighborhood or being in a part of a culture that in the world right now is kind of under a microscope, they feel like they're either judged or seen as a certain way, and events like this make it so their own voice can be heard, they can express who they are and how they feel and break free of any stigma that they feel associated with them, to kind of show the world what they want to say and not be told who they are.
Thanks for always being there. Thanks for always being there for me, loving me, caring me. No one can ever replace you. You're a special spot in my heart. I don't know how to explain how much you mean to me. You are always there by my side. You are the best woman in the world. One day I will make you proud, I promise. You have a special spot in my heart. You work hard to provide for us. You teach us how to be a good person. Sorry if sometimes I don't do what is right. I will never leave you alone, even if I got married. You have a special spot in my heart. You are the key of my heart.
So part of the way that this came together is my friend through AmeriCorps is the Make It Happen coordinator at Lyman Moore Middle. She works with an English teacher and an ELL teacher named Tyler Jellison, and she would come home and talk about how great he was doing and how she was seeing all these kids blossom in his class and really talk about the issues. And a lot of the issues her students are going through, my students were going through, and those students actually were a part of the Front Street Study Center, which is another center through Portland Housing, so we kind of pulled this together. Tyler Jellison, I then went to and had a personal meeting with, saying that I was inspired by the work he was doing and I really would love to work with him on something, and he gave me a lot of help and guidance to kind of bring the work he was doing in his classroom to my center, and it turned into this beautiful thing where it was a cohesive lesson plan, and all of the work that he was doing with his students was transcribed into the work I was doing here, and that's how we all kind of came together up there.
My first class, basically me and Mr. Nelson didn't get along, but yeah, he was a nice teacher, and he really taught me to get my work done, and I was always the troublemaker in class. I kind of still am. But yeah. He's a really great teacher, and I'm sorry that you're leaving next year.
Mr. Jellison is going to West Africa.
Yeah, this isn't about me.
No, Mr. Jellison, it is about you. Because you care about us, and we're going to miss you, and he's going to be gone for 4 years, so
set up, but I didn't want, it's not about me, it's about them. This event was for them, you know what I mean? They said they wanted to make another poem, and I was like, guys, we don't have enough time to make another poem because I'm a control freak. Like, everything needs to be organized. We had a plan. And then Kaylee's like, they're gonna do one. I was like, okay, I don't have time to look over it. So I was just like, let's go. Well, so some of my students have been working in a writing class. They had done a whole poetry unit where they had written 4 poems. So they'd already performed some of these at Lyman Moore, but we wanted to do an event for the community. And then some of the AmeriCorps volunteers were doing stuff at community centers so they could incorporate, and also like have the middle schoolers kind of be, the 8th graders be models for like 5th and 6th graders to come in, so all the kids can see they can stand up and have a voice, and their voice matters. I'm super pumped. This is like 2 or 3 years ago we started small events like this at our school, and now to see it like this guy right here, he's one of the originals that started it all, so like to see it come to here is pretty impressive. I think that too often in school kids don't think their voice matters, and they think that school's dumb, and when they actually get into an event like this, or they have adults react to their voice and are moved by their voice, they see that they should get involved in their communities and they should speak out against injustice or just making people happy through dancing and singing and all those things.
How proud are you of the kids?
I can't even talk about it. Seeing them on stage doing this, I get emotional. I don't think that there would nearly be enough of the passion in programs like this unless you had the type of program like AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps brings in volunteers and people who have a very specific mindset in who they are and what they want to contribute to this world, because I came in here through AmeriCorps not knowing about the culture of the neighborhood, not knowing about anything, and these kids got to see that a person they would never expect can come and learn from them as well as teach them, that you can grow up and give back. I see them every day, but I'm not their teacher, but I'm not their parent. I'm this weird in-between where I'm a mentor and a friend, and seeing them break through all of these layers that society and school and just being a middle schooler puts on you to have this clear and defined voice to say who they are and what they feel and what they think the world should be seeing them as is mind-blowing. When I was 11, I could barely articulate what I wanted to eat for breakfast, let alone talk about the countries going at war or what it's like to be a woman wearing a hijab, and seeing them speak so eloquently, so confidently in who they are. They're such an inspiration. And I think jobs like this, you go in thinking that you're gonna teach them things, and you walk away understanding that they teach you more than you could ever imagine teaching.